Hello, my friends. Today I want to know, can I beat this Kingdom Rush Frontiers Endless Challenge with just axe throwers and Voduke? So without further ado, enjoy the show.
Hello everybody, I'm here to steal subscribers, sabotage Morgan's channel, provide my input on how to excel in Endless Mode by spamming only tribal axe throwers. I played this stage so many times in order to feel comfortable that my score is as high as you can realistically get with this strategy. I played it so much in fact, that I earned enough gems to get into the triple digits on my save file. So, here's everything that I've learned from playing. First, this is just a theory, but Endless Mode seems to track the kind of towers that you build and where you build them. I noticed that when I played this stage normally, building a mage tower would give me a higher chance of an armored enemy spawning on a path covered by that tower's range, at least for the first 30 or so waves. Then it would do the opposite, and spawn more magic resistance enemies to try to counter that tower. So by spamming all archer towers, the chances of getting flying enemies at the beginning seems to be higher. This actually makes it pretty easy to get through the first several waves, but getting into higher waves is going to take a lot of thinking. If you're going to spam one of any tower type though, axe throwers are a pretty good choice. As an archer tower, they shoot fast ranged attacks, so you can count on them to kill flying enemies, finish off low health enemies without much overkill damage, and generally just do a lot of DPS. But what really makes them stand out is their abilities. Earth and Spirit Shamans can start spawning in the 20s, although I usually don't see them until the 30s. But the Earth Shaman's high armor buff is a very hard counter to archer spam, that is, unless you use the Totem of Spirits to cancel out the ability. This is such a cheap upgrade at only 150 gold per level. Since level 1 only lasts for 4 seconds, and the next levels only add another 2 seconds to the duration, I prefer to spam level 1 Spirit Totems all over the map. But the best tribal axe thrower's ability is by far the Totem of Weakness. What makes it all the better is the fact that this upgrade is bugged on iOS, but in a good way. After so many years of iOS bugs making everything harder, there's finally a challenge that only iOS players can excel at. The Totem of Weakness effect on iOS is actually permanent on enemies once they are afflicted by it. So even if you get a level 1 totem that would only last for 3 seconds, the enemies passing through it will always take 40% more damage. This actually has a really complicated way of working though. If another tower's Totem of Weakness affects the enemy, it won't make them take any additional damage than the first totem already made them take. But if the same tower's Totem of Weakness lands on the enemy again, they will take an additional 40% damage from all sources. So, if you just focus on one tower, keeping an enemy in its range for 9 or more seconds so that the totem drops a second time, will make the enemy take 40% more than 40% more damage, which is 96% more damage total. What's really nice about this is the fact that any totems of weakness that appear from the same tower more than once will add an additional 40% damage taken. For example, in the event that a totem of weakness from one tower affects an enemy, but then the enemy gets out of range of that tower and enters the range of another tower, the new tower's totem of weakness will not increase the damage the enemy takes, because the 40% has already been permanently added. But if that new tower spawns a second totem of weakness, it will add another layer of 40% damage taken to that enemy. Basically, this is the formula for how much damage an enemy takes. 1.4, which is from the 40% more damage that the Totem of Weakness adds, raised to the power of the highest number of times that a totem from the same tower has affected that enemy. So from just 2 times of the totem stacking, they already take almost 2 times as much damage. Thanks to exponential growth, every 9 seconds, this can get very powerful very fast. This easily takes care of high health enemies in Endless Mode, so there are only 2 weaknesses to this strategy. The first is heavily armored enemies, but the Earth Shaman is actually the only enemy with guaranteed armor, so any hero that deals magic or true damage will take care of them. The second weakness is high numbers of enemies. Again, a hero with great crowd control can really help here. But even when using a really strong hero, there is one enemy that poses a significant challenge: spiders.
Spiders! Spiders!
Spider matriarchs are the death of pretty much every run that I've done here. I have to save Rain of Fire specifically for when these enemies show up, or else I will get overrun by their spider hatchlings. If I get unlucky, they will spawn in multiple waves in a row. Using soldiers to block them stops them from spawning enemies, but once they are free from melee combat, they'll spawn hatchlings instantly. Even with Totems of Weakness to lower their melee damage by 50%, the Spider Matriarchs can still kill reinforcements and other units easily. I replayed this stage so many times, hoping to get lucky by not having that many spiders appear, but even then, the Wave 60 Reaper Lords are too powerful to kill alongside enemy hordes with just tribal axe throwers. Still, it's a testament to the power of this bug to be able to get this far at all. Any players on iOS should try to take advantage of this bug by combining axe throwers with battle mechas. Waste disposal will keep enemies in range for more totems to be stacked, and the area damage of the bombs and missiles should take care of enemies in high numbers. I hope this video has been informative and or entertaining to you. If not, let us know in the comments so that I can never collaborate with the real Morgan again. Have a good day, and I hope the joy in your life is endless.
So he gave me a pretty interesting strategy with a lot of statistics, a lot of genuine, well-hearted goodness and kindness and advice. So naturally, I threw it straight into the trash can. That's what you do. So I played this, and he was like, hey, I can get to this wave that's very far. And I tried it immediately and just built all these crappy archers and didn't work that hard on. I was like, whatever, I'll just rush through this crap. I never really, play endless modes ever. And I made it to like wave 30. So after that humiliating attempt, I decided I was going to try again and take some of his advice. I'll let him waste his time blathering on about useful information. I don't care. I'm just here to kick some butt. Now, who are the main enemies that we have to deal with in this? Obviously, there's tons of these savages. There's a couple wasps. But without any good blockers, this is what I'm most terrified of. Oh yes, look at this disgusting foe. How on earth can we take it down? It just keeps increasing in HP every time we fight one. There it is. This putrid hellspawn needs to be sent back to the depths. They gross. But we also have to worry about matriarchs. No, not those matriarchs. These matriarchs. No, the ones that spawn spiderlings like this and that and this. Yeah, that's the one. They're no frickin' joke, dude. Now, obviously, since Bonefart here is S tier, he's got to be the best hero for this challenge. Sure, somebody like Grawl or Ulrich could do a lot of damage and stun like some of those big boys that we fight. But then these matriarchs and all their little hellspawn red spider demons that frickin' just overwhelm everything, they would just destroy you without Boneheart being able to shoot his green nasty breath all over him. So in my opinion, you kind of need Boneheart for this, and he covers a lot of the bases since we start getting a lot of those Earth Shamans that have really high armor, so they're definitely a big threat to our Axe Thors. But look, we got 2 more of these Reaper Lords, man. They are increasingly just becoming more and more ridiculous. We don't have, like, anything to block them with. And now we got all these frickin' spiders. Half the time, you're worried that Bonefart isn't shooting his green death breath in the right direction, or because it's like, why does the AI choose for his green breath to go in one path but not the other? That can really, like, make a huge difference sometimes. So that's a bit frustrating, okay? But I'm just trying to kill all those spiders because I have a personal bias against those freaking matriarchs. They destroyed me in one of my challenges, and I will never forgive them. So I'm probably paying too much attention to killing spiders at this point, but we're doing pretty good. I'm comparing everything I do to Voduke because, I have to beat him. I have to beat him in this. I don't even really remember what happens, but jeez! Did you see that? Did you see how freaking close that Reaper Lord got? I feel like the next round of 2 that we're going to get is just going to destroy everything. So, let's be honest. Do you think that I'm going to be careful in this? I don't... No. The answer is no. The answer is pretty much always a resounding no. I like to rush. I like to choose the wrong tempo, okay? So we're flying through this thing. I'm insta-calling almost everything. I want to get a really high score. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's all that I can hope for. We started summoning these tricksters in these upcoming waves, and those guys are annoying because obviously they raise the frickin' cannibals back from the dead, and those things have a ton of HP. It just like doubles all of those guys, which is really frustrating. Things are starting to get chaotic. We got another Reaper Lord here, and things are looking grim. We got so much we're trying to deal with. I'm still trying to figure out where to upgrade and what towers to build and all that kind of stuff. Voduke had a better system than me. I'm trying to kind of copycat it, but let's be real. I'm just being rash, okay? I just wanted to try this. I don't play a ton of endless mode, but spamming one tower over and over again, that's definitely my style. So I'm surprised we've made it this far. In general, this does seem like one of the best towers to do it with because it kind of covers all bases. Obviously, there's no blockers, but, we're not allowed to use necromancers. So actually, now that I think about it, just using necromancers might be pretty comparable to this. That might have to be a future video. What do you think, Voduke? I'll just open up the Discord here. Voduke, do you want to do this again with No. Resounding no. Okay, well, that's what I get, I suppose. Now for something completely unrelated. Why did I put that cartoony comic book filter on this video? Was it to distinguish my run from Voduke's? No, it's because everything I do is a frickin' joke. Okay, so enter Reaper Lord number 1. And number 2. It's only 27,000 HP each. We'll be okay. And then the Reapers went into our hometown and killed all of our families. Thanks for watching. Now's the time where you go subscribe to Voduke. He's my favorite collaborating YouTuber who starts with a V and ends with Voduke. Seriously, his channel's freaking awesome. And Voduke is so cute. Just look at that puppy-like face. Oh, wait, that's his literal dog in real life, Munchie. Well, go subscribe to see more Munchie then, I guess.